since life is a gamble, and I'm one of the biggest gamblers in life with money, with no respect to anything, therefore, I figure everything has to relate around gambling, because I'm a gambler, so that's why it's so funny. Okay? So follow it if you're a gambler, okay? So this is what happens. You see, in life, certain moves the I man does, for me, I, je, okay? The I robot of the whole thing, because there's two systems running right now. Don't get mixed up between the two, because there's an internet direct, and there's the other internet where man is, where lies are, and deceit, but the whole thing is, you see, when you're on the net, right, if you got a virus and you got something that's going on, if you don't care about it or anything, take the computer, throw it in the garbage. Who cares what happens on the net? Sometimes I answer mail I shouldn't. I know it's dangerous because who knows what's in the mail. But on the internet, some of it, I just pay attention, and if some of it is no good, eventually if it ruins me, I'll find a way to get rid of it, and I'll clean it up, and they won't be my friend anymore. So it's like a friendly place to go. You don't get dirty with anything. So that's the network. But there is a lot of deception on it, and if you get deception, you have a poor reception. So therefore, if you get a poor reception, then the story you will try to pass might just be his side of the story. So that will be his side of the line. That will be pass. But he won't let my story go. You know what I'm saying? The pass line, or against the pass line, because he told his story and not your story. Yet he was your messenger. So when you bet on the pass line, the only thing he passed is his side of the story. So it didn't matter what side of the line you bet on, eventually you're going to lose everything anyways. Because when the 2 6s come up, the other 2 days of the week, before the day ends, the box cars of everything, what everybody's scared of in Germany, the boxes that we are buried in, the 6 feet under, for the other 6 of the day of man, before he discovered what perfection was all about, when he found the 4 ways, because the north, the east, the west, and the south already tell the ways. How come he couldn't find it? Those are all the 6s of man, and it took many days before the perfect man found it. And when the perfect man found it, by the rule, the only rule that goes along with it, for it not to work, are the 3 strikes you're out, where the 4 balls don't count. And that's the 3 of Trinity, and that's where it ends. But with the 4 balls, everybody knows what happens with 4 balls. Yeah, so I don't know where I was, but I guess you get the point. When you get the 4 balls, the 2 strikes no longer count, and you did play the whole game, okay? And you swung the bat, and you played by the rules. So the 4 balls that made good for you, and if by rule the 3 strikes would make bad for you, steal the rule. There's 3 strikes you're out, and 4 balls you walk. Man walks. If he plays the rules properly in front of the man who made them, which is 7, 4 balls, 3 strikes, 7, God tilted the rules towards man's side, because it's 4 on the good side and it's 3 on the bad side. You see, we cheated before anything happened and no one even knew it. You see, is it 3-4 or is it 4-3? Sometimes what you see that looks the same isn't actually what you see, because your eyes perceive. But if you don't know the actual ways, you will be deceived, and then you will not be received, and then all communication will be lost and cut because of the deception, of the deceiving. The death part of all is the deception, is the first letter in the word death of the electric, which is the helper, right, to the angel of the crossroads in heaven, D-E-A-T-H, death. I hope I can remember it again. The D is always around in life, and then it points up, so it's something like the E, because everything points up in life when it grows. Then you got the E for the E man, his ego, fighting against his angel. Against the T is the crossroads in life, where Jesus stood on the cross for man, where man wants to go to the H, which is heaven, and that is what spells death. Are you starting to get scared what I know? Do you really want to know what I know? Because I'm scared that you ask me, because every time I ask me, I get the answer. I only want to know the truth, so why would I lie to myself? I'm not an idiot, you know. I just want a little bit of logic and a little bit of R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Respect. I'm Raphael, the first part of respect. We know what the E is. It is the game. The S is the snake that screws the whole game up. The P is the part of the game that I am also a seed. So instead of a seed of a D that goes up, I am the seed of a D that looks like a P that goes down, because I've been knocked down so much, I become the white sheep at the bottom of the barrel that turned black. That's the P. The H in my Raphael is for heaven, that I played the E part of the game properly, for the electrons, okay, for the esprit, that's Raphael, and the L is the line that goes from the bottom straight up to the top. Limité, but mine is illimité, and that spells Raphael, and that's my name in Hebrew in the English words. So every word and every letter, as the Hebrew said, has a true meaning. So I used the tools that they taught me, the Jew taught me, the J-E, which is I, which is the we board, which is now almost a man moves it direct, which is the I, which is the I robot, which is man. I'm a little lost again. Anyways, whatever the rest of it is, I know I said it before. I'm not going to repeat myself and screw my head up and mix myself up and then mix you up. So it's okay for now. That's 7 minutes, 13 seconds. I'm still Raphael. This is so powerful. Thank God I had celery, because it's a long stick and a lot of water, bringing in a lot of thirst. When the thirst gets fulfilled, when the knowledge and the mind is fulfilled, when your thirst is fulfilled and you are not thirsty anymore, you are not stuck in the desert and lost in nowhere's land. Although you have the directions, there's nowhere to go. And everywhere you go, it brings you in no direction, because you're still thirsty. And there's no knowledge, because there's nothing there. And what is there only tries to kill the other thing there, because they only want to survive, because that's what's there. It's sort of like hell. And that's what it is. And it's all the same, as long as you know what you're doing. As long as you know what you're doing, you can speak to the people and tell them. Otherwise, shut your mouth. Okay? I'll shut my mouth. Just tell me. Give me a comment. You want me to shut my mouth? No problem. I stood quiet for a long time in my family. I was never first. I was born second. So I knew all the second stories, because I knew the first story and I was the second story. So I knew his and I knew mine, and I knew the difference. And that's why the second-born knows the difference, because he sees what the firstborn did. Therefore, sometimes it's better to be second than last than be anywhere else at all, because it's so perfect. You see what's in front of you. You know what you have to do. As a slingshot and the horse, when he waits behind the first guys, he knows what the first guy sees. He can see his energy, and kaboom, he passes him. As he waited behind him the whole race, at the end of the race, there's the result, and that's what counts. And that's where I come from, second place. And I have a lot of steam. Come on down. Here's the next contestant. And this one, ciao.